Sadashivatsamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om. Om Shanti 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 Om Namaste. Uh, verse 24, page 1853 for Mark and Sylvia. O Arjuna, know me to be Brihaspati, the foremost among priests. I am Skanda among the commanders, and am the ocean among the reservoirs. So, a lot of symbolism, a lot of stories here. A lot of, how you say, mythology as well. And for me, it's very tiring to read this. Would you like to help me reading this story, Lynn, or not?
In what way?
Just reading it, because it's a beautiful story. I remember vaguely there is a lot of Sanskrit that I start bumping to the Sanskrit, and you are better in Sanskrit. And then if you see me raising my hand, it's because I want to say something in between the reading, if you feel inclined.
I can definitely do whatever. So that's great. So,
Okay.
So I will start.
Please.
So, among the Purohitas, the Vedic priests who officiate in rituals, there are two: the celestials, Purohitas, and also the earthly ones. Among the celestial Purohitas, in the heavenly world, I am Brihaspati. And Brihaspati, I looked this up, is derived from Brihat, prayer, devotion, and Pati, Lord, Lord of prayer, Lord of devotion. I am Brihaspati, who helped Indra and the Devatas, and therefore Deva Purohiteshu Madhye. I am the main one who is Indrasya Purohita, who is called Brihaspatihi. In fact, Puroda, the one who is kept in front as a guide, Puraha Date, the one who is placed in front, one who is seated in front, and who guides me when I do rituals, I call Purohita. I am Brihaspati. These are all based on the scriptures. Then, Shenani na Maham Skandaha, among the army commanders, he is not leaving any field. If you are an army man, you need an army man for Upasana. Krishna wants to mention Commander-in-Chief Devasena. Devasena, the army of gods, and for them, who is the leader? Skanda, is Subramanya, which represents goodness, spirituality, and connection to Brahman. Skanda is Subramanya. He is known as Deva Senapati, the commander of the celestial army. I am Skanda means the one who flowed out, who emerged out of Lord Shiva's third eye to destroy some Rakshasas who had extraordinary strength. Lord Shiva had to bring a special avatara, and out of Lord Shakti, Skandate, Skand means flow, to emerge out, to originate from the third eye of Lord Shiva. Third eye represents jnanam, and that is why Subramanya is jnana Subramanya. Jnana Skandaha, he is. So we can give philosophical meaning to this word based on Puranas. He is the best commander-in-chief. So I am Subramanya. And then Sarasa sarasam asmi sagaraha. Among all the reservoirs of waters, among all of them, I am Sagara, the ocean, which is worth worshiping. You can worship anyone, but I am the ocean, Sagaraha. And in the Puranas, there's a big story, and many of the verses in this portion are based on that particular story. So we will have often to refer to that story here. And therefore, I will give the gist of the story. And everybody will like story also. Therefore, so there is one story which occurs in several Puranas. And it occurs in Ramayana also, Ramayanam also, when Rama and Lakshmana are taken to Vishwamitra. He told many stories so they would not feel the pain in the legs. And there one story that Vishwamitra tells is Ganga Vataranam, the arrival of Ganga from the heavens to the earth, is called Ganga Vataranam. Avataranam means coming down. And this story occurs in several Puranas, of course with slight changes. It seems there was a Raja known as Sagara Raja, known as Sagaraha. A note, Sagara is a prominent figure in Hindu epics, known for his lineage and the legendary digging of the ocean bed by his sons. This Sagaraha had many children. It is Purana. Do not get shocked. He had 6,001 children, and they were all generally known Sagaraha because Sagaraha Putraha, the sons of Sagara. They are called Sagaraha. And there was one Putra known as Asamanjaha. Normally, Asamanja is used for idiot. Anyway, one son was called Asamanja, and the Sagara wanted to perform an Aswamedha yaga. And just as Rama did, and in Aswamedha, and they will send one special horse all over, and whoever challenges the horse and the army going behind, he has to be defeated. Only then he can perform the Ashwamedha, because to perform Ashwamedha, one should defeat all the kings around. So that's a horse sacrifice, right? I hope they don't kill the horse. They didn't, did they? Say no. He has to be defeated. Only then can he perform the Ashwamedha, because to perform the Ashwamedha, one should defeat all the kings around. And when he was about to do, Indra got frightened. That is, Indra is also a jiva. His fear was anybody does 100 yagas, he gets qualified for Indra Padavi, a rank of Indra, I guess, when they do that. And therefore, his position is threatened. If anybody doing more yagas, therefore Indra's job is to scan the earth for anybody doing any yajñā and yagas. And he will stop that. And therefore, generally, when he does, if anybody does Ashwamedha yaga, he steals the horse. And this Ashwamedha Ashwa horse also was stolen by Indra. But he had come in some other Vesha, and naturally, the 6,000 sons, except this one, which was Asamanjas, all the 6,000 started chasing Indra in some other form. And Indra could not escape. And therefore, what he did, he went underground to the Patala Loka. That's I think that's the bottom of the 7 lower lokas. Do not ask me how. This is a Purana mythological story. And these Sagaras, and they were not ready to leave him. And they also started digging, and 6,000 people digging all over, and a huge pit was created by them, and water started filling, and that alone got the name Sagaraha. Sarasha Masmi Sagaraha, which means among the bodies of water, I am the ocean. Huge reservoir of water, dug by whom? Sagaraha, Sagara Putraha, his sons. And therefore, that got the name Sagaraha. And what happened? They went to Patalaloka, and Indra knew he cannot escape. They are chasing, and therefore he decided that I will tie the horse in Patalaloka and run away. Because if I keep the horse, they will chase me in Patalaloka. Kapila Rishi was doing tapas, it seems. And therefore, Indra did a trick. What is that? He tied the horse near Kapila Rishi and escaped. And then 6,000 Sagaraha, Sagara Putraha, sons, came and saw the horse was there, and nearby Kapila Rishi. And therefore, what did they conclude? Natural, they concluded that Kapila Rishi alone had stolen the horse. And he was sitting as though he does not know anything doing tapas. Therefore, they started shouting at Kapila Muni. Poor Kapila Muni, he had not done anything, and his tapas was disturbed by his shouting. And therefore, he opened his eyes, and he got so angry with those 6,000 people, and therefore he stared at them, and fire came out of his eyes, and all the 6,000 got burned down into ashes. And he continued his tapas. For him, it was nothing, like electrocution, like spirit cushion, you have to say. They were waiting for the horse to come. Hu Sagaraha. Hu Sagaraha, and the one remaining son, Asamanja. And 6,000 were not seen, and therefore Asamanja in search of them. He went to Patalaloka and found that all these 6,000 burned to ashes. And he saw Kapila Muni. He woke up and inquired, and how all these happened. And Kapila Muni said that they disturbed, and therefore they can be saved and revived only by Ganga Jalam. So, did you want to say something?
No.
Okay. So Ganga Jalam alone can revive them. As Asamanjas came and told his father that to save them, Ganga Jalam had to come, and Ganga is not in Kashi or any place. Originally, it was in Devaloka, and Sangaraha could not do anything. He was old. Therefore, he told Asamanjas, you are in charge of bringing Ganga. And Asamanjas, he tried his best. How can he bring Ganga from the heaven? And therefore, he also failed. And he got a son by the name of Amsumam. And therefore, what did Asamanjas say to him? I could not bring Ganga. At least you try. Then Amsuman thought he would do his best, but he could not also bring Ganga. Then Amsuman had a son by the name of Bhagirata, and would have heard Bhagirata Prayatanam. This is a big effort, a monumental effort to accomplish some goal. Oh, that was a hawk. The hawk here tries to get birds by crashing them into the window. It's very nasty. Bhagirata Prayatanam, which is a monumental task of Bhagirata. Bhagirata decided to bring Ganga. And he decided to do tapas, invoking the grace of Ganga Devi. And Ganga Devi said, I am willing to come down, but who can withstand the force of Ganga? That too coming from heavens. Even this Kurtalam, conch, waterfalls, you stand here, you will feel the force. What a momentum it would be. Therefore, nobody could withstand it. Earth itself will get destroyed. And he asked what to do. Somebody must be able to receive. The only one who can do that is Lord Shiva, because he has got the cushioning jata is there. Cushion effect. Those are his braids, his matted hair is the jata. Then how to propitiate Shiva? That is not easy. Then again do tapas. Previous tapas for propitiating Ganga. Now tapas for propitiating Lord Shiva. And he did tapas, each one for 1,000 years. So at least we should give 1 week time. So therefore, what happened next? Next week.
Very nice. Please carry on.
Oh no.
Are you tired?
I don't know how you do it.
Okay.
So,
If you are tired, I can take over. Because it's going to carry on telling the story, and you tell it, you read it much better than me.
I'll continue if you like.
Okay.
In the last class, I was the middle of the story of Ganga Vataranam. How Bhagirata brought Ganga river, the river from heaven to earth. Bhagirata came to know from his father Amsuman that his ancestors known as Sagaraputras were burned to ashes by the anger of Kapila Rishi, who was doing tapas in Patalaloka. And they came to know that the ancestors could be saved only with the help of Ganga Jalam. And nobody else could attempt this big feat. And therefore, Bhagirata had to work on that. And Bhagirata, I think it's Bhagirata, decided to bring Ganga down to the earth. And that is why any person of determination is often called Bhagirata, and the effort is called Bhagirata Prayatanam. I think there's an A missing there. It should be Prayatanam. So he did tapas, invoking the grace of Ganga Devi. And Ganga Devi offered to come down to the earth. But the problem was who will receive the river? Because the momentum will be so tremendous that if there is no appropriate cushion effort, the earth will disintegrate. And therefore, Bhagirata had to do another 1,000 years of tapas. 1,000 years for getting the grace of Ganga. And then 1,000 years he did tapas, invoking Lord Shiva to help him. Lord Shiva appears and offers to receive Ganga Devi. And Shiva wanted to teach a lesson also to Ganga, because she was arrogant, that I am such a powerful river. Therefore, Shiva was ready, and therefore Ganga Devi came, and Shiva did not use any special place or anything. His own jata, matted hair, was enough. And as Ganga Devi came down, Shiva received Ganga in his jata. And not only that, even though Ganga Devi was so vast a river, the whole river was accommodated within the river. And Lord Shiva covered that river completely. She just disappeared into Shiva's jata. And not only that, after teaching a lesson, Shiva went or continued his tapas. Lord Shiva loves tapas.
So just a moment. Jata, if I remember, is his beard or his hair, right?
matted hair, I think, is that what it is?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carry on, please.
Lord Shiva loves tapas. Now Bhagirata was in trouble because his purpose is not merely bringing down Ganga. Ganga must be available for saving his ancestors. And therefore, again, he had to do tapas. Because if you disturb Shiva's tapas and Shiva gets angry, like Kapila Muni, and Bhagirata also gets burned to ashes, things will get worse. And therefore, he did again tapas, invoking the grace of Lord Shiva. And Ganga Devi also was praying to Lord Shiva. I'm getting suffocated within your chata. Please let me out, let me breathe fresh air. So because of the tapas of both of them, Lord Shiva agrees to release not the whole Ganga, but a portion of Ganga. And incidentally, if you take the whole story as a symbolic thing, Ganga Devi represents Brahma, Vidya. And Ganga Devi coming out of Lord Shiva's head indicates the knowledge coming down to earth from the Lord's wisdom. Because Ganga Devi can immortalize or save his ancestors. Similarly, Brahma Vidya can also save all the people from mortality. And therefore, Lord Shiva released a small stream. You would have seen in the picture Lord Shiva doing tapas and small fountain, a small stream of water coming. So Bhagirata was very happy because after a lot of effort, Ganga Devi has come down. And therefore he requested Ganga Devi to come down to Patalam because this is Bulokam. And so therefore from the heavens she has come down to the earth. And from the earth she has come to Patala to save his ancestors. Then what happens? The story continues. Long serial, you know. So while Ganga Devi flows, she passes through the hermitage of a rishi known as Janhu Marshi. And Ganga Devi flows and floods the hermitage of Janhu Maharshi. Naturally, the ashram is disturbed because of the flood. And therefore, the rishi gets angry. And therefore, what did Janhu Maharshi do? Drank the whole Ganga. First, she got caught in Shiva's jata, and she's got caught in Janhu's Maharshi's stomach. Again, Ganga Devi got suffocated, and Bhagirata got frustrated because the water has to save his ancestors. Then what to do? Again, like if you have to get some certificate from bureaucrats, you have to fall at the feet of so many people at the office. Everyone has to dakshina from the gatekeeper itself, 10 rupees, to someone 50 rupees, to someone 1,000 rupees, to someone, etc. Then only ultimately you get. And you cannot argue with them because then if at all there is possibility of getting that, will also go away. One has to submit always. Like Bhagirata cannot get wild. Therefore, again, he did tapas, propitiating Janhu Maharshi. I have brought down Ganga for a particular purpose. Please do not defeat that purpose. So Janhu Maharshi allows the Ganga River to flow out through his ears. Do not ask me how, he is a rishi. Therefore, he can do anything. So first came the head of Shiva, and then it came from the ears of Janhu. It all indicates that Brahma Vidya is Karna Parampara, a knowledge that goes from ear to ear, oral tradition. That is, it will come from the head of the Karna, and from Karna, Katu, ears, to again another head. This is how the Brahma Vidya Parampara is. And since Ganga Devi came down from Janhu, Maharshi's ear, it is called Janhavi, which is another name for Ganga. So we will get to that in the 10th chapter of the Gita at that time. I will not tell the story again. I will remind you that Shrotas, sometimes my tongue, Shrotas asmi Janavi, which means of the flowing rivers, I am Janavi. It is going to come. That is why I thought I can tell the whole story here itself and then hint at it when the occasion comes. At least Ganga Devi came down to Patalaloka, and then all the Sagaraputras, how many 60,000 Sagaraputras were saved? So this is the story of Gangavataranam. And the place the Sagaraputras were burned to ashes is called Kapilaranyam, the place in Patala where the Kapila Rishi did the tapas. And according to Kanchi Paramacharya, that Kapilaranyam alone later got twisted and became Kapilaranyam. And Kapilaranyam is the modern California of America. This is according to that Rishi, the teacher. Patala, dig deep and straight to America from India. Do not ask whether America is Patalam, in other words, the lowest of the 7 lower locus. So California, Kapilaranyam. And to prove his point, Kanchi Sankaracharya points out that nearby there is an island called Ash Island because all the 60,000 got burned to ashes. So therefore Ash Island and California, whatever it is, that is an aside. So the Sagaraputras got saved, and that is why the ocean, which was dug by the Sagaraputras, got the name Sagaraha. So Sarasam, of all the bodies of water, I am the ocean. For that only I told the story. Where does it come? Verse number 24, second line, last word, Sagaraha. And based on this alone, there is a well-known shloka written by Bhartrhari. And this shloka says, those of low caliber do not start a task at all for fear of obstacles. Those of average caliber start a task but stop when faced with obstacles. The superior individuals, even when repeatedly struck by obstacles, never.
I'm sorry. I'm not locating myself. Maybe you add.
Oh, I'm just doing the English translation of this verse.
Okay.
So it's the low caliber, the mediocre, and the superior who repeatedly struck by obstacles never give up.
Right.
3 types of people. One type of people, they never undertake anything. Why? Because they are afraid of failure. Since they do not have the capacity to undertake failure, they never undertake. And they declare to everyone, I have never failed in life. Why? They should do something to fail. If I do something only, there is the question of failure. These people are called Manda Purusha. Then there is middle, next higher type of people, Parabhya, Vignayuyahita. Oh, they have the courage to start. That's the verse above. They have the courage to start, but once they face 1 or 2 failures, California entrance examination, people cry. Swamiji, have they written the examination so well? But I did not pass at all. So failure comes, some people withdraw, stop from going further. But the madhyamam people are those who withdraw from the undertaking when they see an obstacle, 1 or 2 obstacles. They are called madhyama purusha. And uttama purushas are those people who continue again and again and again. How long? Until they find success. Any number of obstacles. Ganga Devi refuses to come. Then she's willing to come. Then there was nobody to receive. And then Shiva had to be asked. And therefore, Tanavi Maharshi's obstacles, and so many obstacles. But Bhagirata decided, unless I get the California degree, CA, I don't know if that's California, unless I bring that Ganga and save my forefathers, I will not stop my attempt. So thus, Bhagirata is an ideal example of perseverance. Continuing.
Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Very nice, self-explanatory, yeah? And several meanings now, or symbols, being the perseverance of the one in search of moksha, self-knowledge, is the most important. Yeah? All the rest are just mythology, Puranic mythology. Very nice, very beautiful. But I guess the message is that, the fundamental message is that you need to want it so much. The desire has to be so strong that it's not going to be stopped by any difficulty or obstacles. And there is this example of Bhagirata, who goes through all obstacles due to its determination. And now the story continues. Let me say, I'm Brighu, among the great sages, among words. Among words, I am the word Om, consists of one syllable. I am japayajñā, among yajñās. I am the Himalayas among the mountains. So more symbolisms of the glory of the Lord. So there is a rishi here, yeah, which is supposed to be born directly from Brahmaji. Brahmaji's mind. They are called Manasaputraha. No? Among those Spatarishis also, there is one considered the preeminent one. While dealing with this loka before, we saw Maharsayaha. Then I gave the name of Spatarishis and so on. Krishna says all rishis are great, and the greatest one is this one, Brighu Rishi, and I am. So we have to understand, Krishna keeps saying, I am this, I am that, I am the best. It almost seems that he is vain and he wants to say, it's because those are role models, those are symbols of people of great qualification, great value for sustaining the society, protecting the Dharma, and people, as acharyas, people as warriors, everybody in every field of these different grihastas, or ashramas. So there are symbols of people who somehow seen as role models, a really symbol of greatness. And as far as symbols are concerned, we prefer those very attractive symbols. Therefore, Swamiji is speaking on them rather than picking on those asuras, or the violators of Dharma. So I am my glory so much that can be seen, manifest as these wonderful, great people, glorious people that you love. You love the people, that you love in me, because the glory comes from me. That is the common denominator. Huh? All rich are great, but if you find the most popular, the most adorable, know that that is my glory manifest through that rich. Huh? So, and then there is another that entity, the Puranic entity that is said to be one of the greatest Rishi, Brighu, was says that Brighu was test the three murtis themselves to find out among the truth who is the most patient one. So he's going to talk about patience, which is also a very important qualification. You have to be have incredible desire, trust, patience, and humility, and so on. So let's see what he says about patience here, without which this Vedantic process does not really fructify. People who are in a hurry do not really progress much. So he went and irritated Brahma to find out whether they lose the temper. That's a good test. Sometimes people like to do it with Gurujis as well, especially wives of Gurujis or husbands of Gurujis. It seems Brahma lost its temper. Shiva, one need to not ask, he will get angry for any reason, So there is a lot of irritable people among these celestial beings. So Shiva is Rudra. He also lost the temper. Both of them failed in the exam. And then Brighu went and kicked Vishnu's chest. And instead of getting angry, Vishnu asked Brighu, "Is your leg all right?" Is your leg all right? It's paining. And they say because of that alone, Vishnu got the mark in his chest. Okay. Imagine if somebody should conduct an examination for such an entity. So he must be the greater not to overreact and just say that, Therefore, that entity, that deity, Brighu, is the great examiner. He has passed the greatest test. So among the great examiner, he was examined or he's the examiner? I'm not sure here. But it is a huge qualification of keeping a certain attitude of neutralization with equanimity towards people who provokes you, pokes you, people who are trying to be aggressive towards you, not provoking you. So it's a kind of test. Imagine if somebody should conduct examination for Trimurti. So certainly he must be greater. So if somebody has to do a test towards him, therefore Brighu is the greatest. So it's even greater than Trimurti himself. That's more or less the meaning here. Those are virtues that can be found in certain highly elevated souls, in the celestial lokas as well as in our loka. So we are not interested to go there to test people and to provoke other people to see who is more or less purified. But here we have the possibility to not look around to see who is more or less purified, more or less strong in terms of having equanimity in relation to adversities and provocations, but we want to look at ourselves and see if it happens, how often it happens, how deep it is, and how quickly I recover. So among all the words, I am Omkara. So we changed the subject here. We went to Omkara. It's consisting of one syllable, the monosyllable word, And what is that why we do say Omkara is the greatest word? Because Omkara is considered to be the essence of the Vedas. So the Vedas are concised, in one single syllable word, says Om. So people, they keep concising, reducing in small mantras. Now, and then ultimately, the most famous mantras there, they are reduced to become Om. So it's a way to make symbols so that when you invoke Om, you are praising the entire Vedas. In Taittiriya Upanishad class, you will be seeing Taittiriya is the Upanishad that we will do in Carnival here, if you are willing, of course. So, did you translate this verse of the Taittiriya by any chance?
I found one. That Ankara, which manifested from the eternal Vedas, is the greatest among the Vedic mantras and is endowed with manifold forms. May that Lord Ankara strengthen me with intelligence. O Lord, may I become the enjoyer of the immortal wisdom. May my body be healthy. May my tongue be very sweet. May I listen to the scriptures repeatedly through my ears. You are the abode of Brahman, which is veiled by worldly knowledge. May you protect what is heard by me.
Which is veiled by?
Worldly knowledge.
Okay, so it's a very small Sanskrit kind of verse here, but it unfolds extensively and with a lot of meaning.
Mm.
So fundamentally, Omkara is, we have seen in Mandukya Upanishad, is another name, another word referring to Brahman, to Nirguna Brahman, which is presented in the Mandukya. So just as we churn and bring butter from the milk or the curds from the same milk, and just as devas churned the milky ocean and brought out Amratam, similarly Brahmaji churned the Omkara and brought out the Omkaraha, the butter called Om. So therefore, Omkara is considered to be Veda Saraha. So what is Saraha here?
I don't know. That Taittiriya Upanishad was the furthest I got. So no help, I can't do
Because
anything.
it's a condensation. Om is a condensation of the Vedas, such as a butter. It's called Om, and so on. Let's see if some say some. Therefore, it's considered to be the most efficacious mantra. So, you see, in terms of our Upanishadic process of self-inquiry and self-knowledge, we condense the entire teachings of Vedanta and the Upanishads in those declarations of identity between Jivatma and Paramatma, Aham Brahmasmi and Tattvamasi being the most popular ones. So if you want to do Nididhyasana, you can just hold into those mantras, because those mantras, they are just comprising the entire teachings that we see through the Upanishads. So it's said that Omkara is incredible mantra, but it is a beautiful mantra to the extent that we repeat that mantra, understanding the meaning of the entire meaning. This mantra, this short mantra, such as Om or Omkara, contains, So you can repeat such a mantra without having a clear vision, understanding of what is summarizing, what is really comprising, okay? The same way people can say Aham Brahmasmi without understanding, without having the teachings that somehow are going to support those final statements, such as you are free, limitless Brahman, conscious existence. So it is a very, very, very powerful mantra. If you don't understand that is a meaning, that the meaning of that mantra, what is behind, what is, sustaining that mantra, it may produce a certain effect. The effect is going to be calmness of mind, pacification and peace and so on, but not necessarily it translates as an yajñā. A lot of people repeat mantras just verbally without turning that into an yajñā. And yajñā, you have to understand the deep meaning, that is somehow sustaining that final declaration of this mantra. So therefore, it's considered to be the most efficacious mantra. It's often used in the Kama Kanda part of the Vedas for rituals. We'll be seeing that in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Okay. And then there is another verse here. Did you, by any chance, translate that? No, huh? For Veda Parayanam, the first word is Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. For all rituals, the first word uttered is Om. For upasanas or meditations, also the first word uttered is Om. Omkara is used as an alambanan or symbol of the Vedas or symbol of Brahman. Thus, in Kamakanda, Omkara is used as a symbol as well. In Upasana Kanda, and this symbol can have different meanings depending on the level of development of the sadhaka. So it can be seen as a symbol of Krishna manifest as the body, mind, and attributes of the Lord Krishna. Can be symbolized some other deity, can symbolize Ishvara. So in Kama Kanda, Omkara is used. In Upasana Kanda, Omkara is also used. And even in Vedantic section, Omkara is also used for inquiry into the nature of reality. And then when you go into Om Omkara, you are getting to the symbol, that which symbolizes the entire body of logic teachings that are going to sustain this final declaration of freedom for the Atma. The entire Mandukya Upanishad is Omkaraha, Vichara, investigation on the nature of Omkaraha as a symbol, as a labanam or symbol. It is used for inquiry into reality. The entire Mandukya Upanishad is Omkaraha, Vichara. And that will lead us into the reality of Aham Brahmasmi. In fact, Mandukya Upanishad begins, Omkara is not only the sense of the entire Vedas. It was Mandukya Upanishad begins, and then there is some Sanskrit in there. If Swamiji's Omkara is not only the essence of the entire Vedas, Omkara is the essence of the cosmos as well, because everything is Brahman, as we know. It manifests as the Vedas. It manifests as the Rish, the one receiving these revelations. It manifests as the Gurus. It manifests as the disciples. It manifests as Jagata, in which this Rishis, Guru, and devotees or disciples, they interact in our sampradaya. And Omkara, Brahman, is the essence of everything that exists in the universe. Therefore, Yanam, Kanda, Omkara is also important. When you come to the Jnana Yoga, Omkara is very important as Nididhyasana. Omkara is used in all stages in this process of preparing the body-mind complex to understand the final meaning of Omkara as Satchitananda Brahman. So this, therefore, is the most used, most important mantra. And that's why we begin with Om and end with Om is very important, because everything in between is Om or Brahman. So therefore Krishna says, among all the words, I am the sacred word Omkara. Beautiful, huh? He wraps it up very nice. Therefore, Jiram means what among the words? The gear, the gi, girahu. Giram, gi means padam. A word is called gi, and giram means among the words. I am this monosyllable omkara or om. Very nice. Among all types of religious sadhanas, you see, the thing with nididhyasana is it can be used as suggested by Gadapada or Gadapada, and those during the Karikas of Mandukya. But nididhyasana, according to a beautiful, brilliant definition by Swami Paramarthananda, maybe it's all there, it was already there in our Sampradaya, but it says that nididhyasana is to hold the mind within a certain flow of words or thoughts or concepts, all of them pointing to the true nature of reality as Brahman, the only reality. All those teachings sustaining and supporting this final declaration, they have to be, it creates a certain environment, mental, intellectual, emotional environment, and that has to be held. It's a very homogeneous kind of, you don't allow, samsaric thoughts or any other things come in. You just hold, So you can hold Om, but generally speaking, you have to have right there at your disposal the entire logic that supports these declarations that there is only one reality, and that is Satchitananda Brahman, the true nature of everyone and everything. So it's that is nididhyasana. And if someone has this completely clear, one can just hold to Om. Remember Om, because Om includes the entire logic of all teachings of Upanishads that points to the fact that the only reality is Om or Brahman, Satchitananda. Why Krishna chooses japa among all types of religious sadhanas? I am japayajñā. Why Krishna choose japa? Because it's one yajñā which can be prescribed, practiced by all people. So I'm interested to understand this better. Let me see, I don't remember why. Because it's the only one that can be practiced by all people. The other sadhanas, varna and ashrama restrictions are not there. So, well, Brahmanam, Kshatriya, Vyashya, Sudra, for all the people, japa can be used. Whereas if you take other yajñās, there are restrictions. If you take Agnihotra, only Grihastha can do, not a brahmacharis or sannyasi. If you take Rajasuya, yaga, only warriors can do that kind of sadhana, okay? And japa, what is different about japa that every people classified within one of these four ashramas. So why japa is the one that everyone can do? So some are based on varnas, some are based on ashramas, some are based on upanayana ceremony, some are allowed for males, some are allowed for females, or a japa is open to all. It is universal sadhana, and therefore it's the greatest sadhana. Okay? So let's recall the meaning of japa here in the words of Lin. I know very little about japa, so I have a vague idea.
Japa meditation is a continual repeating of the word or the mantra. And then because it's an intentional a repetition of a word, other thoughts or mantra, other thoughts don't come in. And so it's consistent. And therefore, when you do japa, in the intervals, you pay attention not just to the mantra, but to the silence between the mantras. And so it's just really japa meditation just means repetition of mantra.
Yeah, it's a verbal sadhana.
Quality, yeah, sound quality of mantras.
Yeah, you explained that nicely with some details. So greatest sadhana. The second advantage is that you do not have a particular time or place to do japas. You can do it anywhere. If you want to do a homa, a particular place is required. It has to be prepared, the place, and so on. You have to face proper direction and so on. I'm not familiar with these kinds of sadhanas, ritualistic sadhanas. No? In all times, all places, and all conditions, and certainly there is a benefit in japayajñā because there is no himsa or effort involved in this kind of sadhana. Because in certain Vedic practice, there is only sacrifice of animals, which is something difficult to understand, which can disturb many people. I don't want even to go there. In fact, Buddha turned against the Vedas because he was against animal sacrifice. So it's a good reason so we can understand why he rejected the Vedas. Okay, many people can accept that. So therefore, there are certain rituals where himsa is involved, and even if animals sacrifice. So to do the rituals, you have to undergo physical pain sometimes. If you say a ritual, they will say, get up, do that namaskara, do this, do that, again and again. A lot of physicality is involved, sit, stand. Okay, so it's a kind of a torture, which is not really necessary unless people attribute value to that kind of of sacrifice, of self-imposed discomfort. So for us, that would be more in terms of japas, no? Not tapas, but japas. You are just inflicting pain on yourself. It's a way to say, okay, it's okay. So I deserve it. You know, that may be washing away some of my impurities. So if you are asked to repeat namaskara, it is all himsa to oneself and so on. There is no harm involved to other beings. No, you can sit anywhere and do these tapas, japas. This is the third benefit. This is universal. It can be practiced in any place. Okay, we stop here. Lynn and Sylvia. We carry on tomorrow. I hope Sylvia has enjoyed it as well, our today's class. I found it very nice, different. Lynn did a wonderful job explaining and reading the difficult story, yeah, Puranic story, and with beautiful, deep meaning besides the Puranic kind of nature of those. How do you say? What's the name? I forgot the other word. Mythological stories. But there are symbols into it. Okay, Sylvia?
Okay.
Very good. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishate Om Shanti 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 Om Namaste. I'm sorry I did not post the last class, so I'm going to do it today. This one and the previous one. And we meet tomorrow again.
Thanks,
Namaste.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Namaste.